This is not right.
Hello, everyone. Okay. All right. Greg, you all set over there? Okay. All right. Now, I know you... I'm not going to talk. So, I know you asked me about pronunciation.
Yes.
And
Can you go over each of the names with me just so I say them right? Okay, hold on. Let me just... Latavia Sturdivant?
yeah, Latavia.
Latavia, okay.
Latavia
See,
Sturdivant.
Latavia Sturdivant, Elizabeth Martin, okay.
Yeah, and
Alyssa or Elisa?
it's Alyssa.
Ruben Zweiback?
Yeah.
Zweiback, okay. Sam Van Alstyne, that one I know. Okay. Jennifer Smith. Jessica Shea, okay. Now Jessie, oh, okay.
Jessie.
Sakaro Duran. Oh, wow, I got that one right. Stephanie Gabad?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
And then Brianna Copeland.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm proud of myself here. And then Lauren Sissy? Sissy? Okay. And then just you, Shamika Andrews. That's it, right? Okay. All right, good.
And your name?
Janae Luciani Senna. I know, that's a mouthful too.
That's okay. That's okay. All right, everybody. Get this show on the road. Everybody ready? All right. So once again, to remind you, I am Shamika Andrews. I am the state coordinator in the Miss Wheelchair New York program, and I'd like to turn things over to our MC, Miss Janae. Oh my goodness.
Luciani Senna. You're good. You can just say Janae.
Janae.
It's fine.
I'll let her tell you what her name is.
And you know I will. All right. Am I good? Greg, yes, okay. Everybody can hear me? Okay, good. I can project, so no worries. So welcome to the 2026 Ms. Wheelchair New York competition. I'm Janae Luciani Senna. It's really an honor to be here today. This is really an inspiring group of women, an inspiring event, and my life's work in particular has really been about helping women see their strength, own their stories, and go into the world with confidence exactly as they are. And being here among all of these extraordinary women really reminds me that true beauty and power come from resilience, courage, and refusing to let anyone else define your limits. So really, truly, you inspire all of us to dream bigger, push further, and create a world where every woman's voice and presence is celebrated. Exactly. For all the ladies today. So Ms. Wheelchair New York, it's a platform for advocacy, leadership, and impact, which everyone here that is a contestant today displays these qualities. It recognizes outstanding women who use wheelchairs and are committed to breaking barriers, promoting accessibility, and creating positive change in their communities. Today, you'll hear from these 7 contestants who come from all different parts of New York State, as you know, I'm sure all of you did too, and to share their platform, welcome to the Capital Region, and to share their platform and to compete to represent New York at the Nationals in Grand Rapids this summer. Exciting. Even though only one can be crowned the title holder today, they will all have opportunities to continue to be Ms. Wheelchair New York ambassadors and promote their platform throughout New York State. And they are all winners in my book. So whoever is chosen today, you're all winners. So I'd first like to announce the judges. So these ladies have the hardest job of the day, in my opinion. So here's our judges. So our first is Latavia Sturdivant. She's the reigning Ms. Wheelchair America 2026. Representing the entire United States of America, which is amazing. The first national title holder from New York. A Bronx-born disability advocate. She's a licensed speech-language pathologist, licensed to practice in both New York and Maine. She earned her bachelor's degree from Lehman College, a master's degree from Columbia University. She lives with cerebral palsy, spastic quadriplegia, and uses a wheelchair, experiences that inform her commitment to equity, access, and authentic inclusion. Latavia is a certified lead advocate with the Amputee Coalition, an adjunct professor at Lehman College, and has over 9 years of experience working with children from preschool through high school in school settings. She's also, as if she doesn't have enough on her plate, where do you get all of the time? A host, editor, and content creator of the Queens on a Roll podcast, love that name, a platform dedicated to amplifying disabled voices through storytelling, education, and leadership. As Ms. Wheelchair America 2026, Latavia is dedicated to breaking barriers through education and leadership while advancing inclusive systems nationwide. So thanks for helping us out today and all that you do. Next is a returning judge, Elizabeth Martin. Elizabeth is steadfastly dedicated to improving the lives of individuals with disabilities and strengthening the nonprofit community. As CEO of the Albany-based nonprofit Living Resources, she oversees programs that empower nearly 2,000 individuals with disabilities and other life challenges to live with dignity, independence, and purpose. Under her leadership, Living Resources is shifting from a historically restrictive, protective model of care to one that champions dignity of risk, self-determination, and meaningful community inclusion. She has driven innovations that promote independent living, such as implementing enabling technologies that allow individuals to transition from years of living in group homes to more independent settings, and increased employment for people with disabilities. Before joining Living Resources, Elizabeth served as the CEO of Consumer Directed Choices, where her passion for disability advocacy took root. A respected voice in her field, Elizabeth has presented at state and national conferences and actively serves on the board of directors and the Government and Policy Advisory Committee for the New York Alliance for Inclusion and Innovation. That was a mouthful, but I got through it. And amazing, all that you do. And she also serves on the Government Relations Advisory Committee and Board of Representatives for ANCOR. Okay. She was honored as a fellow 2023 New York State Senate Woman of Distinction. I was too in 2023. So I'm like, I have something in common with all these women here. It's great. I love the Capital Region for leadership and advocacy. So that's amazing. And thank you so much for your time today. And our third judge, last but not least, is longtime Ms. Wheelchair New York volunteer, Alyssa Rubin-Zweibach. Hopefully I said that properly. Yes. Okay. For the last almost 6 years, Alyssa has worked as a care manager for Care Design New York and says she loves being able to support people to pursue the things they want in life. Alyssa spent 29 years working at the Center for Disability Services in an adult day program where she was able to incorporate opportunities for advocacy and disability awareness. Prior to living in the Capital District, she worked as an art therapist for Children's Services for Rockland County ARC and a developmental specialist at Richmond Children's Center. She began her volunteer journey at 14 years old at Camp Jawonio in New City. So thank you so much to our esteemed judges for your time and service today. Thank you. So I think now we're ready to meet our contestants. Do you have? Great. Okay. Perfect. Get the lowdown here. Okay. So first up is Samantha, aka Sam Van Alstyne. She is a twice published children's author, writing inclusive children's stories about life as a wheelchair user and cerebral palsy. She is a passionate disability advocate, a member of the Phi Theta Kappa International Honor Society, and a published journalist and contributing writer for the Chatham Press in her hometown of Chatham Monthly Magazine. Hi, Sam, fellow Columbia County girl here and journalist. I'm from Hudson, so you're my people. Sam is also a devoted auntie to 10 nieces and nephews. I don't know if any of them are here today. Yeah. And she uses her platform to spotlight the lack of marriage equality in the disabled community. In October, she will be holding a commitment ceremony with her partner of 3 years, Jordan. Thank you so much for all that you're doing. Next, we have Jennifer Smith. Jennifer is joining us from Syracuse, so not too far, our neighbor to the west. She is one of 3 children and also an auntie of 4. She likes to spend her time working on her Facebook page called Disability Speaks, so be sure to check that out and give her a follow. She puts up daily messages and shares her story to help and inspire other people. And Jennifer also likes music, listening to music, arts and crafts, and she is also a writer. She likes to write fiction stories. Thank you, Jennifer. Next, we have Jessica Shea. Jessica comes here from Queens, and she is a disability advocate, community leader, and respite coordinator who works closely with individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities to promote inclusion and dignity. Of Taiwanese descent, Jessica brings an intersectional advocacy lens to her work, centering equity, access, and belonging for people with disabilities and marginalized communities. As someone living with a physical disability, she leads with lived experience and is a strong advocate for cultural representation within the disability community, firmly believing that representation matters, especially in spaces where disabled voices and diverse cultures have historically been overlooked. She serves in multiple leadership roles, including advocacy leaders, fellowship participant, community advisory group member for undue poverty, Neurodiversity Council member, and board member of Project Ready. Jessica is also a graduate of the Cultural and Linguistic Competence Leadership Academies and has contributed to DEI initiatives within her organization to ensure inclusive, equitable practices. As a public speaker and advocate, Jessica champions fair wages for human service workers, the AAPI equity budget, and the Medicaid parity bill, working to address systemic barriers that impact disabled individuals and underserved communities. Outside of advocacy, Jessica enjoys traveling with friends and surfing in the summer. Better you than me, because I'm way too scared to ever try that. So that's amazing. And one day hopes to experience skiing and paragliding, embracing life with curiosity, courage, and clearly adventure. Thank you so much, Jessica. Next is Jessie Socorro Duran, hopefully I said that right. Jessie is a mom, wife, student, athlete, entrepreneur, and artist. Your outfit is amazing. I love that. I'm like, where can I get that? And so springy. So we're thinking spring here. I love it. You look beautiful. Jessie is a social work major with minor in disability studies and entrepreneurship while creating adaptive solutions such as wheel eating and the dry ride cover to improve access and dignity in wheelchair users' daily lives. Through lived experience, she challenges barriers, leads with confidence and style, and advocates for equity, inclusion, and real access in our communities. Thank you so much. Next, we have Stephanie Gabad. Has a fan club here today. Stephanie has lived most of her life at Elizabeth Seton Children's Center, starting from just 3 months old. And I actually used to volunteer for many years with Elizabeth Seton and was their annual fundraiser MC. So we may have even met before. I saw that name and I was so happy to see that. That is such an amazing place. And they had such a great staff over there. So it's great to have you here, and it's truly an amazing place. Stephanie was born with spina bifida. She loves music and art, and she credits these 2 things with helping her through some of the most difficult days of her childhood. Stephanie now volunteers at Elizabeth Seton's Children's as the Sisters of Charity of New York, and in May of 2024 was named a healthcare hero by Westchester Magazine and received the New York State Woman of Distinction Award from State Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart Cousins in May of 2025 for her advocacy and the many ways that she is working to make a difference. Amazing. Thank you, Stephanie. Our next contestant is Brianna Copeland. Also, here we go, a New York, there's Brianna, a New York-based disability advocate, wheelchair user, and Master of Social Work student whose work is rooted in lived experience, systems change, and community impact. As a disabled mother, she advocates at the intersection of accessibility, transportation equity, and family inclusion, centering the voices of people with disabilities who are too often excluded from policies and public life. Brianna is actively engaged in disability leadership through service on transportation and accessibility committees and as a peer mentor within the amputee and disability community. Her advocacy focuses on dismantling barriers in mobility, healthcare, education, and parenting, while promoting practical solutions that support independence, dignity, and full participation for disabled individuals. Through public storytelling, community engagement, and professional training in social work, Brianna works to normalize disability and challenge stereotypes surrounding wheelchair use and disabled parenthood. She's committed to creating spaces where disabled people are seen, heard, and valued. Thank you so much. Amazing. Next up is Lauren Sisse of Spencerport. Lauren is a proud mom, gorgeous. I love, again, all of the outfits are amazing. Lauren is a proud mom, partner, disability advocate, and healthcare professional who lives at the intersection of lived experience and systemic reform. As a woman who uses a wheelchair and manages complex health conditions, she has transformed personal challenges into purposeful advocacy for equitable, accessible healthcare. She is the devoted mother of a 5-year-old son who inspires her daily commitment to protecting healthcare access for disabled parents and families. Lauren is also a committed partner and wife, which she has in quotes, in every way but legally, because marriage would cause her to lose Medicaid and the essential support that she depends on. Can we all band together and do something to change that? Because I don't like hearing those types of things. She holds a dual bachelor's degree in women and gender studies and psychology, and a master's degree in social work with a clinical health focus. Professionally, Lauren works within behavioral health systems, bringing both clinical expertise and lived disability perspective to her advocacy. Her platform centers on expanding equal, accessible health care, including mental health services, and protecting the rights of people with disabilities to build families without risking losing essential rights and support. Lauren's mission is simple yet powerful. No woman should have to choose between her health and her family and her future. Amen to that. And let's give all of our contestants a round of applause. Thank you so much. The contestants have already completed their individual judging interviews with the panel of judges. So now they'll each be given the opportunity to present a timed platform speech. After each contestant gives her speech, they'll have the chance to answer their onstage final questions. They'll each get asked 2 questions. And while we're waiting for the judges to calculate their scores and choose the winner, we're going to have Shamika come back up and share a few words about some important people who contributed to this event today. And in addition to being your MC today, I'm also proud to say that intimate apparel brand TrueKind, the brand that makes bras and undies that help you be true to yourself and kind to your body, is gifting all of our ladies today with items that they selected for themselves. So I'm proud to be the brand ambassador of a brand that really cares, and as well as a bra designer and consultant, and sharing the same mission and purpose that I've built my entire career around, which is helping other women look and, more importantly, feel good in the skin that they're in. So I'd love to call Shamika up again, who truly goes above and beyond to make this event a success. And she's going to thank the rest of our sponsors, tell you a little bit about them, as well as our volunteers who help make this happen and who are so generous with their time, because without them, Ms. Wheelchair New York would not exist. They allow for the program to not only continue, but to get bigger and better each year. So Shamika, thank you so much for all you do.
Okay, I just want to take some time quickly to recognize all of our volunteers and our sponsors because, as Janae said, without all of you, this program would not exist. Miss Wheelchair New York is a completely volunteer-run organization, so we appreciate each and every one of you. First, I want to recognize Hope Lutheran Church. That has been our venue for the last 2 years. So we thank you for that. We're thankful to Greg, who has been our tech extraordinaire for the last 2 years. I want to thank Catherine, who is not only a sponsor this year, but has made the connection with us and Hope Lutheran. So thank you to her. Thank you to our judges this year, Elizabeth and Alyssa, for coming back, for Latavia for being here and being our outgoing title holder extraordinaire. One person that I do want to thank that I mentioned, who actually this is the first time that she is not here because she is not physically here present anymore, and that's Denise Noto, who we lost this past year. Denise has been a incredible support to me, and I wouldn't be here without that. I also want to thank our great photographer. This is the first year we've had a professional photographer, so that's awesome. Jason Zupardi. And his lovely assistant, Billy, back there. All right. We also want to thank the New York State Independent Living Center, who is also sponsored this year. Nell's Treats, who give us our really good cupcakes and treats. I want to thank Just Because Floral, who gave us our bouquets for our contestants. I want to thank Heather Hordell, for our lovely centerpieces and gifts for our judges. Heather's done that. And Heather is also Miss Wheelchair New York 2022. So hello to her and thank you to her. I also want to thank Kristen Prout and Amar Schaefer, who also helped with our online judging. We also want to thank the team, the CARES team at OPWDD, who are here helping us today and have done some running around for me and all of those things. So I'm always grateful for those that can drive around and pick up things, and because I can't drive. I only drive a chair, so be grateful for that. People should be grateful for that. So, like I said, there's so many people, and you will all receive a program, and we also have letters for each and every one of the contestants from the commissioner of OPWDD, so we'll send those to you after. We also have a letter from the Chief Disability Officer of Congratulations, Kim Ridley, that they both did for you. We just couldn't get them printed in time, but we'll definitely send those out to all the contestants. So with that, you didn't come here to hear me talk. So I am going to hand it back over to Janae so we can get started with our contestants' speeches.
Okay, awesome. That was great, and thank you so much. Let's give a round of applause for everyone that really, I don't know if my mic is on, but Greg and Mayan, that has really helped to make this inspiring event possible. So, Shamika, do you have a certain order that you want the ladies to go in, or should I just pick? Okay, great. Okay, so whoever goes first, don't be mad at me. I'm just going in order of the paper. So first up is Samantha Van Alstyne.
Yes, and thank you for
Oh, do we have a mic for, yep, perfect. Here, let's get you a mic.
that would.
Sorry.
It's okay. I just thought of it. I was like, wait, I could think, and you could
Hello.
talk there.
Sorry,
Thank you so much.
brain.
Oh, trust me, I know that. I live that every single day.
Thank you, and thank you for saying my last name correctly, Janae.
Yeah, well, I said I'm a Columbia County girl. I
Yes.
know all Van Alstynes in Columbia County. I know a ton of them, so we'll have to talk later.
Yes. Okay. So who here is married? In the United States, legal marriage grants 1,138 legal rights and protections. This includes hospital visitations, medical decision-making, survivor benefits, but most importantly, legal representation as family. But for Americans with disabilities, accessing those rights can often mean foregoing the very benefits that keep us housed, insured, and alive. Hi, I'm Sam, and a year and a half ago, I got engaged to my partner, Jordan. We were excited, obviously, but in addition to talking about the music, the venue, the flowers, we had to talk about what it means to celebrate love inside a system that limits our lives. The current SSI policy states that when two disabled adults get married, their asset limits change. This means that their benefits are reduced, but more often than not, eliminated entirely. And it doesn't stop there. Oftentimes, if Jordan and I were to live together, it would also be considered holding ourselves as married, which could risk our benefits even without the license. Building a life together could risk it all. Love is not a liability. Sorry. Love is not a liability. So for the past year and a half, I've worked to make Congress legislators listen to me by using my social media platforms, public speaking events, and I even mailed a copy of my book, Sam Wants to Get Married, to Washington, D.C. I've never received a response. These rules are archaic and hail from a time where disabled people were expected to sit quietly in the corners of society. I refuse to sit quietly in the corners of society, out of sight, out of possibility, and out of policy. The Constitution of this United States promises equal opportunity under these laws. Disability should not be the exception to these promises. And equality should never depend on silence. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You did a great job. That was great.
And eventually we'll get there. So
I love that. Because that is powerful what you just said. And
it starts with one person, then it continues with all of us. We all band together, we'll get what we want. And just to add one piece to your speech, love is inevitable. Love, we all need love, so it doesn't matter whether you use if you have a disability or not. So congratulations on your engagement.
Thank you.
so I think, Jennifer, you're next. You ready?
I'll do the best I can here.
You'll do great. I know. Yeah. This is a room of love. No one to worry about.
Okay. So, this is going to be hard, but I'll do the best I can.
Here, I'll hold this for you. Did that help?
Okay.
You hold this?
Yes.
Okay, give me this. Okay.
I just
Don't even pretend the mic's not even there.
Okay.
It's fine.
Good afternoon. My name's Jennifer, and I prefer to be called Jen. I'm 34 years old. I use wheels to navigate my everyday life. I was diagnosed with cerebral palsy which mainly affects my left side, but that is a small piece of who I am. My disability is a piece of me. It does not define me. I have been defying the odds. Defining the odds since the day I was born. I entered this world at just 2 pounds, 13 ounces. Doctors did not think I was going to survive, but here I stand. Obviously, let me expand that just 1 second. I use something called a Steady to stand. There's pictures later on that will show that. I'm standing here not only surviving, but thriving. In 2010, I proudly walked across my high school stage with assistance of a walker to receive my diploma. In 2014, I earned my associate's degree in human services from Onondaga Community College. Each milestone is proof that ability is stronger than doubt. If I am chosen to serve as Miss Wheelchair New York, I will use my platform to promote accessibility. The Americans with Disabilities Act was passed in 1990. While that was groundbreaking step forward, more than 3 decades later, there is still work to be done. Accessibility should not be an afterthought. It should be standard. Accessibility matters to me because I want to move throughout this world without limits, without barriers, and without having to depend on someone for something as simple as opening a door. When I see barriers, I speak up. In 2011, I created a Facebook page called Disability Speaks. I created this because I was tired of seeing advocacy separated by diagnosis. When I speak, I share my encouragements and successes and even my struggles because life is not one size fits all. I am developing an interactive called Disability Speaks in Actions, where I will invite community members to experience firsthand challenges we face so we can better understand why accessibility matters. Change begins with awareness. Awareness leads to action. Action creates inclusion. I am Jen. I am resilient. I am determined. I am ready to continue defining the odds, not just for me, but for generations to come.
So much. You did great. That was great. Next, we have Jessica Shea. There you go.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jessica. So how many people go to the doctors every day? Can I have a hand? Okay. So when you go to the doctors, you want to be listened to, right? So as a person with disability all my life, the doctors always spoke above me, beyond me. Why is that? I don't know. But as I've learned navigating in the adult world, I need to be heard. So my platform is to empower women, all women and others, other genders, but mostly women with disabilities, to be able to navigate healthcare confidently. Because for me, I've spent 5 to 6 years in a healthcare setting having doctors listen to me. So now when I go to doctors, I get exactly what I get exactly what I need. And they're all centered around me. If I don't like what they're saying, I get a second opinion. And I want to teach everybody and empower everybody that second opinions matter. Your healthcare matters, and that's how we're going to have a good quality of life. And quality of life is very essential to everybody. So using my platform, I would go around to different organizations and all the resources that I have to make sure that people is aware that you have to stand up and manage your healthcare with confidence. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Next up is my award for best dressed for the day. Jesse, I love this too. I really do.
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes, everyone. My name is Jesse Duran. Almost 10 years ago, my life changed when I became paralyzed. I didn't know then what my disability would become, but it became the source of my purpose, my advocacy, my innovation. Today, I'm a mom, a wife, an athlete, an artist, a disability advocate, an entrepreneur, and most important, a social work student in New York City. I believe the people who experience these challenges firsthand are the ones who are best equipped to design these solutions. The first few years of my injury were about adjusting and learning how to live. But in 2021, I stepped into what I call my yes year. A year where I stopped shrinking and started saying yes. Yes to leadership, yes to visibility, yes to building solutions instead of waiting for them. My platform focuses on accessibility and disability-led innovation. As wheelchair users, we often navigate spaces that were not designed for us in mind. From restaurants to housing to public spaces, accessibility is often treated as an add-on instead of a standard. Instead of accepting that reality, I chose to create solutions. I'm the founder of Adaptive Products, including Will Eating, a portable tray that transforms any table into an accessible dining space for wheelchair users. And the dry rag cover, which is a waterproof cover that protects wheelchair cushions from rain and water exposure. These ideas came directly from my life experience, from the everyday challenges many wheelchair users face. My work was recognized through the Blackstone Launchpad Idea Competition, where I won first place nationally in the Consumer Products and Services category for Will Eating. That moment conferred something I already knew from my life experience. When people with disabilities design solutions, we don't just solve problems, we help redesign them. We show spaces and systems how it work and how it's supposed to work. I'll be graduating in May with a degree in social work, minors in disabilities, entrepreneurship, and alcohol and substance abuse counseling. I chose this path intentionally because advocacy requires both life experience and education. It requires understanding the system and then working to change it. Excuse me. One of my long-term goals is to develop the first fully wheelchair-accessible residential building designed for wheelchair users by wheelchair users, not adjusted afterwards, but intentionally designed from the ground up. Because accessibility shouldn't be an add-on. It should be a foundation. The platform matters deeply to me because I'm not advocating only for myself. I'm advocating for my child, for my family, for my nephew who recently became a WMPT, and for every wheelchair user who deserves independence and a full participation in society. If given this title for Miss Wheelchair New York, I will strengthen disability voices, collaborate with community leaders and policymakers, promote disability entrepreneurship, and push for housing spaces designed for everyone from the beginning. I didn't become a wheelchair user by choice, but I choose every day to turn my life experience into solutions, because the people who live these experiences are the ones best equipped to design these solutions. Thank you and gracias.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jesse. Next, we have Stephanie. Oh, do you want me to hold? She'll hold. Okay, perfect. All right.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stephanie Gabode. I am 28 years old, and I was born with severe medical conditions, and I have been living at Elizabeth Seton Children's Center for most of my life. My life has not been easy, but I stand here before you as a proud woman of strength, love, courage, and gratitude. And Elizabeth Seton Children's gives me that strength. For many years, I have been an international spokesperson for the young adults with medical complexities who don't have their own voice. Young adults like me are living longer because of the advances in medicine. But after we turn 21, the Children's Center can't care for them. And we are often sent to nursing homes where the care is not the same. That's why Elizabeth Seton Children's is building the first of its kind young adult center. My life mission is to advocate for young adults like me. If we succeed, we can show the world that young adults with medical complexities can achieve great things despite their disabilities.
Great job. Another great job. That was Stephanie. And last but not least, Brianna.
No, she didn't.
Oh.
Lauren.
Oh, Lauren. Okay. Sorry. You're next. You were over there, so it threw me off.
Okay. So I don't have a paper, so I'm going to read them. Go for it. My name is Brianna Copeland, and I am currently a single mom to a 19-month-old. I already have a degree in healthcare administration and currently pursuing a degree in social work, my master's in social work. Through the course of my life, I have been a wheelchair user, as well as using prosthetics, but the majority of my time has been a wheelchair user. And I have found, especially in my adult life, it has been very challenging. But a lot of my, I have dealt with a lot of challenges, but a lot of it has been a lot of high moments and high points. I would like to use my platform mostly, I feel that every person with a disability should be seen and heard in all spaces and spaces and areas. But my biggest focus now is accessibility within transportation. I find that especially for myself being on Long Island, transportation is just something that I struggle with. I currently had to pursue my local bus company and a human rights case just to be seen and heard and get the action that I need. So from this platform, and again, I did it alone. So my goal is that if I were to take this reign, I just want to be able to create a community, to create a space and be able to make that change. Change may start with one person, but you do need a community in order for it to fully show effect. So I guess definitely my goal, like I said, is just to create that community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll just make my way over to Lauren. Oh, sorry, guys. And Actually, this time. Last and definitely not least, Lauren. Thank you. Thank you.
Is it? Hello? Working? Okay. So first, I just want to echo bits and pieces of each speech that went before me, because definitely there were little bits and pieces of, things that I hold true to myself. And thank you all for your speeches. So good afternoon. My name is Lauren Sassay. I'm a mother of a 5-year-old boy, a clinical social worker, behavior intervention specialist, working under the OPWDD at the ARC, an advocate, and a woman living with spina bifida who uses a wheelchair. As we gather this month, we recognize both Women's History Month and Social Work Month, a time to honor strength, advocacy, and leadership of women and the profession dedicated to supporting dignity, equity, and human rights. In August, I was removed from Medicaid after being told I was not disabled enough. For people like me, Medicaid and insurance eligibility are not optional benefits. They are life-sustaining. Without them, I lose access to specialists, durable medical equipment, and mental health services that allow me to function and raise my child. 7 months later, I'm still without my insurance and still fighting to get it back. Every day in my professional role, I support individuals with developmental disabilities who are navigating behavioral and mental health challenges. I see how critical, consistent mental health care is for stability, dignity, and independence. But I also see how easily access to that care has disappeared when insurance eligibility becomes a barrier instead of support. All health care, but especially mental health care, should never depend on proving you are disabled enough, poor enough, or struggling enough to deserve help. My platform focuses on improving Medicaid insurance eligibility policies while expanding access to mental health services for people with disabilities. Because when healthcare systems fail, mental health is often the first place where we feel the impact. Through stress, trauma, uncertainty about the future. I am also a partner and a wife in every way but legally, because marriage could cost me the health care I depend on. No one should have to choose between love and support, and the support they need to survive. As a white disabled mom, raising a black son with a black partner, I also see racism, ableism, and healthcare inequalities intersect for families like mine. I am not asking for special treatment. I'm asking for dignity, stability, and access. Because no woman should have to choose between health, her family, and her future. Thank you.
So, sorry, that was really great. And everything has been truly eye-opening because I truly did not know that is happening. And I feel so bad that you guys have to fight for what should be basic rights and help. And it's frustrating. As a person who pays taxes, I would really prefer that the money go to helping you as opposed to probably the ridiculous things that's going to, but if there's a way that we can help or you can share, we can write letters, sign petitions. I, for one, will blast it out to my entire network, so please, everybody, connect after, and Shamika probably has lists for everyone that's here, and maybe if we come together, we can make some sort of difference, right? So, but anyway, everybody, those were eye-opening speeches.
Absolutely. So while our judges are getting ready for our next section where they're going to ask each of the girls questions, I'm just going to say a few more thank yous. I want to thank Diane Vicks from Manifesting Wellness Naturally, who also gifted each of our contestants a essential oils packet, which they'll receive a little later. I want to thank the Self-Advocacy Association for their support. I also want to thank Catholic Charities for lending their support this year, as well as the I'm sorry, my brain just shut off. Yes, so I also like to thank our previous title holders who also lent their support. We have as Amar Shaver, who I mentioned earlier, who also has a podcast called Sexy Disabled Folks, so you can check that out, Amar. And we also want to thank Angela Alvarez for her support, as well as all of our ambassadors from the past year and all of their everything that they've done to support our organization. As I said, Miss Wheelchair New York and Miss Wheelchair America are a completely volunteer-run organization. So without our volunteers, we would be nothing. I also want to say hello to Nora, who I see in the audience, who's also a longtime volunteer. We appreciate all of you being here. We appreciate all the family and friends that have come out to listen to our ladies, all of you that are out in internet land, streaming and joining us via the internet. Yeah, so there you go. That's okay. No problem. So, as I said, Miss Wheelchair New York is one of 30 programs, part of Miss Wheelchair America. So our goal is to hopefully one day have Miss Wheelchair programs in every state. But right now we have 30 programs. Like I said, our nationals is held in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So just to let you know a little bit about that, today is just one day, but nationals is actually a week. So you get to do all of this again, but stretched out in a week. And there's workshops, and there is you get to visit one of our national sponsors, Mary Freebed Rehabilitation Hospital, which is in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So it's a fun week, a lot of work, obviously, but hopefully you can have fun and enjoy. I say that to contestants. Yes, this is a lot of hard work, advocacy is a lot of work, but hopefully you're enjoying it and you enjoy it and have fun as well, because I do. Even though, advocacy and all of these issues can be very frustrating, and having to meet with legislators and but it's important to get our stories out there. It's important to talk to our legislators and know, because if we don't tell them, they don't know. They don't know what we go through every day. They don't know, these issues that everyone has brought up with for us today, and our families, families, and I'm very grateful for all the families and friends that are here today. Because again, without your support, all of these advocates, myself included, would not be here. So I'm going to check in with our almost.
We're just trying to, if you can't tell, we're trying to give the judges a little more time.
Yeah.
Get their questions together.
Yes. So.
Anyone have any questions? Want to tell a joke, maybe, or? Okay, here. Let's get you a mic. Okay.
I want to thank Shamika for putting this out. This is the very first time I've ever done something like this. So whether I win the title or not, I'm going to continue advocating because mainly it's for all of us here, but it's also for the little generations. I see little ones running around here, and this is for you as well because you're here after us. So.
Thank you so much.
Those of us who were here last year remember that Latavia Sturdivant went on to Miss Wheelchair America.
Yeah, absolutely.
What does Miss Wheelchair America, what platforms have come from that?
Good question.
Well, I mean, I know
Do
you're.
you have time to answer while you're?
What have you learned
Want me to bring the mic to her?
Yeah, I can do it.
You'll do it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll answer it vague right now since we're figuring this out. But
Yeah.
short answer is a lot. Long answer, I will answer in the Q&A.
Yes, we will hear once Latavia is doing double, triple duty for us today. So she is one of our judges, but we will hear from her a little later once we get past through the judging part. But I can talk to you a lot. There's all sorts of platforms. We heard about, the marriage penalty. We heard about access, and we heard about, there's been platforms.
Oops, sorry. I don't know why that, is that me or are you? Yeah. Oh, I must be too close to something.
Hello. Here we go. All right. Yeah, microphones. All right. There's been platforms on adaptive sports, and my platform when I was a contestant 20 years ago. It's crazy to say that. Was on access to education. We've had women all over the country that had all different platforms and learned so much. I know one of the biggest things that I learned is talking off the cuff. That's the biggest thing that I learned, because anytime I was working for somebody that anytime that he wanted me to speak, he usually asked me to speak like 10 minutes before he actually wanted me to do it. I'll tell you a story. So since we have time, I'll tell a story. So I live in Albany. Those of you who know me know that. So I live not too far from the Capitol building. And several years ago, it was the 25th anniversary of the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act. And so they were having a celebration at the Capitol, which I live, and the person I was working for at the time, he said to me, do you want to be on the list to be a speaker? And I said, well, I have some stuff to do at the library, and I'm not sure if I'll get, back in time, so don't put me on the list. So the library, for those of you familiar with Albany, it's basically down the street from the Capitol. So I said to him, don't put me on a list because I don't know if I'll be done at the library. So as I was rolling down the street past the Capitol, because you have to go past the Capitol to get to the library, I hear the guy in the loudspeaker say, our next speaker is, guess who? Shamika Andrews. So I didn't go to the library. I spoke at the ADA rally instead. So that has really been the biggest thing for me, is learning to be able to speak with little or no time at all. And also just kind of just being ready for anything, because you never know. I've probably, been working with volunteers and things like this to plan this event probably since the last event. And, things happen, technology doesn't cooperate, printing doesn't work, cars break down, chairs break down. I've had all of that. And you kind of have to go with the flow and say, okay, we'll get through it. We've gotten through it. Been here, like I said, since 2013, and every year there's always something, but we get through it. Yeah, exactly. We roll with it. Exactly. We do. Going with the flow. That's what we do. So, does anybody else, our audience, do you have any questions for me? Or, yes? Yes, sir. Absolutely.
You all show so much dignity in presenting. I'm personally very, very touched. I'm trying not to cry back here.
Oh, that's okay.
And Lauren has presented almost every single issue that all of you have talked about.
Yeah.
And I think that whoever wins, it looks like things are going in a good direction. And you all seem to be incredibly wise advocates. Of course, because you have to live it, right?
Absolutely.
As well as not just advocacy, but also like edifying, like education, right? So I think that that's something that I've seen here today that I just want to say really touched my heart.
Well, thank you. And hooray for partners, right? Husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends. You guys ready? All righty. So I'm going to turn it over to our judges. The judges will ask each of our contestants 2 questions, and then we'll go from there.
I can probably get close enough for you.
All right, we're all
right?
talking over here because I hate talking on a microphone. So I give you guys all a lot of credit. This is so not my thing. Anyway, we're going to start with Sam. Okay. Sam, you mentioned your book. Can Okay. Well, then you can choose from whichever one. So basically looking for a quote that you would choose that really, personifies what you want everybody to take from what you're talking about today, a quote from one of your books.
Okay, so if we're going to take it from what today's message is, we're going to have to go to Sam Wants to Get Married, which is my sequel book. Thank you. I have it. So, on one of the pages, I don't remember off the cuff what page it is, and I don't waste your time looking for it, but it says disabled rights are human rights, and I touched a little bit on that in my speech, that we're all granted the same privileges as Americans under the Constitution, and I'm not sure why the government seems to think disability is the exception to that.
Thank you. Great answer. So, so for each person, I've decided to ask you a funny question, but also as a second option, if you don't like the funny question, what is your favorite song and why? So the funny question I had for you was something fun that you're planning for your wedding when you get to that point, or the song.
Something fun. Well, I am an aunt, as I mentioned in my intro. So something kind of fun is that my niece who lives in Florida, she's going to be my flower baby.
Nice.
So I'm a flower girl, I'm a flower baby. And I also included my oldest niece and nephew who will be 13 by the time we get married. They're in my wedding party as well.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay, Sam, we're gonna stick with you over here.
What's up, Olivia?
So you talked about getting no responses when you sent out letters for the federal government, right? If you were Miss Wheelchair New York, how would you persist past that no?
Even if I don't win the crown, I'm just going to persist and use my social media platforms. I do a lot of public speaking. The book tends to draw people in. I think persistence is key here. To quote my grandmother, who's my favorite person in the world, squeaky wheels get oil.
Yeah. And I guess you helped me come up with my fun question, Sam, for you. What is your favorite memory with your grandma?
So there's a lot because if you knew Cassie, there's a lot of fun memories. She was quite the woman. So probably one of my favorite things and something that I did in my professional life is she's the only person to ever call me my full legal name at all times. So that professionally, that's why I use Samantha Marie usually. Because I was never Samantha, never ever Sam, always Samantha Marie.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to stay with Sam again, just so.
Just so we could go in order.
I know, I don't be there. And yours kind of took mine, so. That's all right, now I'm going to hurry up. Samantha. Yeah. If you were to go on and get the national crown, what do you think would be your biggest challenge in trying to continue advocating your platform?
I think just, spreading awareness because unfortunately this is a conversation that almost no one knows about unless it generally affects them. Like I've talked to so many people who I've explained my platform, explained the issue, and they're like, what? Disabled people have difficulty getting married? Like you can't just get married. I'm like, no. So definitely the lack of knowledge in the general area, because again, this is a conversation that's often overlooked because unfortunately the mainstream idea is that people don't form relationships, don't have these meaningful connections, which is it's very untrue. Obviously, there are some great examples in the room of people who form deep, meaningful connections, and I think the ideology, unfortunately, is so that, we're supposed to be in these dark, dreary places like institutions, and so I think the biggest challenge will be just getting the message out there and making people listen, but we're going to do it.
And then the fun question, what do you like to do for fun?
What don't I like to do? I'm an avid crocheter. Very good at that. I also write creatively. That's how my books started, via a conversation with my oldest niece and nephew. I like typical 30-year-old things. I like to bother my fiance. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today, but I really
going to switch you guys. We're going to give this one to you. And because they're having issues hearing the contestants in the back. So we're going to give you guys that one.
Okay.
And we're going to give this. Yeah.
Okay.
So keep.
Are we on?
Yeah.
You know I'd be fine not using the mic at all, right?
Where are we going next?
No, I just find the mic very intimidating, so bear with me. I'm going to continue going in order, if that's okay. So Jennifer was next. So you talked a little bit about the ADA, and
Thank you.
and the ADA is what, 30 years old? How old? 30?
No, 30. Check this out. It's 33 years old.
33 years. I knew it was 30 something.
It was put in place in 1990. I was born in 1991. So.
Yep, no, I remember when it started. I just couldn't remember how many years ago. I knew it was 30 something, so thank you.
But anyway, yeah, right.
Yes.
Math might be off. Never said math was my favorite subject.
So to the point, it's old.
Yes. Right. Yes,
It is.
right.
It's old. So basically, what would you add to the ADA?
I would, I have to confess that I don't know exactly everything on the ADA because that's still a learning thing. But my biggest thing, what would I add? Stop trying to put barriers, not thinking out of the box. You know, I hate when I have to wait for a person simply to open a door. Mm-hmm. If we can't put the automatic door openers in that we push, why don't we have them like grocery store where they automatically open? Mm-hmm. And that's part of independence. We're independent women. I personally think that's taking away my independence just as simply as waiting for somebody to open a door.
Very true. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, there's also the option of saying what your favorite song is and why. But the other question that I had for you was when you talked about walking across the stage. I'm sure a lot of people were shocked. So, was there anything funny that occurred while people were watching you do what they were sure you couldn't?
It wasn't funny. It was actually serious.
Okay.
This turned out, it's going to be a few seconds, but it turned out to be wonderful. But I was in inclusion, so it was where there was a second teacher in the class. And there was a director that directed that program. I remember this vividly. It was the day of practice. They put me up on stage. She comes to me and says, You're not walking across the stage in front like everybody else. You have to walk behind everybody, like the principal, all the bigwigs. Forgive me, I don't remember all the people that were there at the time. And I was like, I was emotional. I started crying, saying thanks. I couldn't believe this isn't going to happen. I worked my butt off for it. Mm-hmm. Fast forward, my dad tells my principal that I'm going to walk across the stage. So the principal comes to the house the day of the graduation and literally tells me, you're walking across in front of everybody. And he doesn't care how long it takes. And to my dad, he says, you're going to come to that graduation to watch your daughter across the stage. Because my dad said he wasn't coming unless that could happen. So thank you, Dad. I know you're not here, but thank you for advocating for me to get that done.
Thank you so much for that answer, and I know that was a tough one to answer, and it was. I had imagined reactions from the audience that might have been funny, which was where I was. Oh my goodness!
But to the main point that you wanted, I got a standing ovation for doing all that. Thank you so much.
Okay, Jennifer, I'll give you a second. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's start with something lighthearted first. How about this?
Okay, let me pull. So I can come out so I can see you. There we go. Excuse me, I don't mean to be direct.
That's fine. If you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be and why?
Superpower. To see the future. To see the future. Why? I wouldn't want to see like 20 years in advance. I would just want to see 2 years in advance so I could know what would the next step of change that I would need to make. Instead of waiting for it to show up, I could have a upper hand on, oh, that's the next thing I need to work on. Not for me, just me, but for generations to come.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that answer. Now to your serious question. If you were crowned Miss Wheelchair New York, how would you scale your platform nationally?
How would I? So use all the different platforms that I could. I recently just started a TikTok. I knew nothing about TikTok, but that's been blowing up. And I have to remember, it's not only about my disability, it's the simple things that people forget that can be very struggle for anybody. Like making my bed. That's a chore in itself, but it blows up. Like everybody's so proud that I keep showing that and keep doing, because some days it looks worse than others, but the consistency and the proudness of being able to do it independently is what I'm very proud of.
Thank you so much.
Hello, Jennifer. Okay, so in addition to like automatic door openers, what's another thing that society, like the one thing that society can do or add or practice to really improve accessibility for people with disabilities?
Stop trying to just put grab bars up and call it accessible. Honestly, I appreciate that they're trying, but think about other things that somebody would need. Spacing, calling something wheelchair accessible just because you can think that something can fit. So be mindful of the way, like architects, when they build bathrooms, just for instance, bathrooms, and then they stick up a handicap accessible thing saying it's accessible. Somebody needs to be able to test them out with wheelchairs, walkers, canes, so it includes everybody, not just one person. Because let's face it, life is not one size fits all, or one gender, or one race, or whatever you may want to say.
Okay, great. And then the fun question: what was the best gift you've either received or given, and why?
Fun. Well, I play. So it wasn't a gift. Well, yeah, to re-enter with my team. I play power soccer. I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but I play power soccer, and I am on a team called Siena United, and they just took second place in nationals last year. So my fun thing is being able to go really fast and in a strike force wheelchair, which is a different wheelchair looking like a go-kart, and with my teammates that have disabilities and impairments, and just to get into a game and not have to think about my disability, or at that moment, it's just me, my teammates, and being out on that court.
I don't know what I keep doing to make this just feedback. All right. So Jessica.
Got it?
All right, thank you. So
Hello.
I'm going to ask you to share this because you shared it with us earlier today, even though you hadn't mentioned it in your speech. you have mentioned elevators. And this was in the interview and in your paperwork to apply. And I think it's a really interesting thing that you were able to see abroad, something that is not here, or at least we haven't seen it. So could you speak to that a little bit?
So hi everybody, I'm fresh off the plane. I actually flew in the night before and then took the train up to Albany yesterday to attend. I went to Taiwan, so that's a 17-hour flight there, 14-hour flight back. So I'm tired, a little jet lag. But as I was doing my virtual interview abroad, I told them that accessibility looks completely different. Although Taiwan is not as first world as the US, their accessibility is so modern, it's not even funny. We have two, not we, but the country has two sets of elevator buttons. The normal ones, or the society generalized ones that are like right up here, so we have to kind of reach. But in Taiwan, there's one that is elbow friendly to a lot of people. So it's more the independence is there for us more, because like the elevator thing, but also like Jennifer was saying, in Taiwan, most of the doors are automatic. They open, and that's something that I never thought about until Jennifer has said it. But in Taiwan, I was there, I felt total independence. And in Taiwan, all the subways have a wheelchair accessible stop. Granted, Taiwan's transit system is a little newer than at least New York.
Thank you. Yeah, it'd be nice to see something like that here.
Yes.
All right, and just reminding you, you have a choice between my fun question and what is your favorite song and why. So something fun, when you're traveling. It doesn't have to be Taiwan, any place that you've gone, something fun that you've done.
Relax. And I say that because relaxing is hard to do. And it's supposed to be easy, but it's the most fun thing to do. Because when you're on vacation, you're not supposed to have an itinerary. You're not supposed to be busy as you do in your daily life. It's supposed to be a break. That's why it's a vacation, staycation, anycations, right? So relaxing, like I just got up and did whatever I want. No timetable or anything.
Great answer, thank you.
Okay, Jessica?
Yes.
We're going to start with your serious question first.
Go ahead.
All right. So you talked about in your speech, accessibility, but also healthcare, right? Healthcare can be a challenging subject to try to get across to the mainstream what the difficulties are. So how would you bring awareness to the healthcare challenges?
Workshops. As I stand before you, I'm learning public speaking. And public speaking to me is a necessity right now, because I learned more and more now that I have a voice, right? And my voice is pretty big. My voice is pretty loud. So my voice is my biggest asset for my platform to continue to be put out there, right? In order to teach people my platform, I would reach out to different communities, organizations, and people that I would have never thought, or help spread the word that navigating your healthcare is a necessity. And just because the doctor says a procedure is good for you and you know it's not, don't take it.
Thank you. Thank you for that answer. All right. Now on to the fun question. If you could have any license plate, what do you think your license plate would say and why?
Sparkle in motion. Because I think my favorite quote in the world is don't let nobody dull your sparkle. And I love pink. I love sparkle. If you don't know, my shoes are sparkly today. I'm not wearing pink, but usually I have a pink article on me. Yeah, so.
Thank you for that.
Okay, Jessica. Starting out with a more serious question. So, what can society do to help better educate our healthcare providers on how to work with people who use wheelchairs or any type of disability?
If I may, I want to share an antidote, not just with a person as a person with a wheelchair navigating health care, but I'm first generation U.S. born here, so my parents are immigrants. I speak dual language, and I have to take my father to the doctor's office. My father developed Crohn's disease, so I have to go to his GI doctors. One time when I went with him recently, the patient before my dad that was seeing the same doctor, she told me that this is her umpteenth doctor that she's seeing as a GI doctor, because she went to other GI doctors and they wouldn't listen to her and wouldn't answer the questions. So she asked, how was my dad's doctor? And that to me is something, what I'm advocating for as a disabled person, as a person with disabilities, and for everybody else.
And then, fun question. What was, besides the elevator in Taiwan, what was the most interesting thing about Taiwan that we wouldn't necessarily know about?
The food is amazing. I think I returned, and same time as I go in the past, it takes me 6 months for me to get my appetite back. I eat just to eat because I need the fuel, but I have no appetite.
That's great. Thank you.
Okay, this is for Jesse. All right. So you had mentioned that you in 2021 was your yes year. And that really intrigued me. So how did you get to a point in your life to decide to have a yes year?
Well, like I mentioned before, the first 5 years of my life, I was just learning how to live life with a disability. And when pandemic hit, it affected a lot of people. And I realized I'm here again. I have a second, third chance. I do not want to waste it. So I took a dancing class, and I danced on the roof, choreographed it. And after that, I said, you know what? 2021 is going to be my yes year. So I said that when 2021 hits, I'm going to say yes to every opportunity that has to be good. I will say yes to. And since then, I became a mom. I'm part of the CUNY wheelchair basketball team. And I'm a college student. And to this point on, every year, this is 2026, 5 years later, every year is still my yes year.
Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect every year. I like that. Thank you. So I had a hard time coming up with the fun question because I could have probably asked you several. So, like I said before, for everybody, there's the option of your favorite song and why. But oh my God. It doesn't like me, this microphone. Oh, I tried that too, and that was really bad. Okay, we'll see. I'll try anything. Either what is your most fun sport? Because you have some pretty wild sports that you do. or the response in public when you've used your invention?
Oh. Jeez, two great questions right there.
Yeah, just pick whichever one seems to.
I would leave it to sports.
Okay.
Just because it actually led me here where I'm at now.
Okay.
So when I mentioned I started playing wheelchair basketball was in 2021, and I just started it just to learn how to do a different sport because I was always athletic, but never played a sports in a wheelchair. So when I finally got into basketball, I met my coach, Ryan Martin, and he came up to me, hey, listen, you want to play basketball and go to school? I remember looking at my family, I'm like, listen, you guys have to let me do this. Like, you have no other choice. And this is exactly what I did. I went to school, and that's where I won my award for will eating at the competition. So if it wasn't for me going into school and playing into sports, I wouldn't be right here right now.
Awesome. Thank you.
I don't want it to speak. Okay, Jesse, we're gonna go with your serious question first. What would you say are going to be your biggest challenges in making that accessible building you want?
The biggest challenge would be trying to find people that actually empathize with the vision. People that don't see money. I'm building a team that see what I want to accomplish, not besides only the people with disability, but the fact that out of the development, they only give you 11% of the buildings are ADA. 5% of those buildings are only wheelchair accessible. Why? If there's 3.3 million wheelchair users in the United States. So how does that make any sense? I have friends who live in the 5th floor and have no way to get down. I have friends who have elevators in the building, but then they have 4 or 5 steps to get inside there. Why not put a $35 ramp to make a difference? To make us feel like we belong here. Like it shouldn't be, like I said, an afterthought. It should be already built in.
Thank you for that answer. That answer was wonderful. And so, since you do play a lot of sports, I love basketball and football myself, but I don't play. What are some of your pre-game rituals?
Ooh. Listen to music. I love to dance. Music inspires me on my good days, on my bad days, on my nervous days. So music really uplifts me. You could catch me in the morning getting my daughter dressed at 6 o'clock in the morning dancing. Catch me cooking at 8 o'clock in the morning dancing. You're always going to see me dancing.
All right.
Hello, Jesse.
Hello.
Very cool invention. I love that you're an inventor. That's really neat. Besides the wheelchair table, what's the next invention that would really make an impact on your day-to-day?
Like I said, I'm a big creator and I love to invent stuff. But the biggest challenge that I noticed was there's no adaptive products for wheelchair moms, for moms with disabilities. I went to, back then when Babies R Us existed, I went to like 5 Babies R Us and I literally saw like over 20 baby cribs. Had to settle and still did not find a wheelchair accessible baby crib where I'm able to put my daughter down and pick her up safely. So I had to settle to a bassinet right next to me. But my thing is, there's parents out there who have a disability. Why are there not any products? Why do I have to search on Google? Why do I have to create it? Yeah. So this is why I'm here. I'm here to create products that make our life easier.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. And then staying on the sports theme for the fun thing, who's your favorite professional basketball player and why?
Michael Jordan.
And why? Just because?
Listen, he's the GOAT. He was one of the worst players and became the GOAT.
Got it.
Okay, Stephanie, I'm going to kind of scooch so I can see you. Oh, thank you. That helps. All right. So you have had experiences also going overseas. So I'm wondering, when you've been overseas, what were your experiences regarding accessibility?
Oh, that's a tough one. Can you answer that one again?
Well, maybe I can simplify it for you.
Yes.
So, we've already heard about how in Taiwan there's elevator buttons that are lower, and that's not something we see here.
No.
So, when you were overseas, did you either find that you had more trouble in terms of accessibility to be able to access things? Okay. So what did you find that was more helpful, maybe, than anything here? Did you find something to be easier?
Well, I found, as we all know, elevators are hard to use. Trust me. I've been up here many, many times. We all know using the elevator up here is not an easy thing. You can easily get closed in on. We all know that. Timing of the door is once that elevator door closes on you, you miss your next meeting, and that's not really a good thing to do because you want to meet with your elected officials.
Yep, good answer, thank you. One of the things that we know from speaking to you in the interview and from your application is that you have met 3 popes.
Yes, I have.
So was there anything funny that happened when you met any one of them?
Not really.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I'm failing on the funny questions today. So, well, I'm going to suggest maybe what my alternate question, which is, what is your favorite song and why?
What is my favorite song? I love Barbie Girl because, as you can see, I'm wearing Barbie, and pink is my favorite color. So I would say Barbie.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Okay. Stephanie.
Hi.
Hi. So, what would you say to people, or how would you show them that there are other options of being able to be out in the world and in your community? If you receive like a rebuttal from someone that says, like, no, this living here is the only option for me, I don't have any other choice.
Man, that's a tough one. I mean, living at Elizabeth Seton for me, I mean, it was when I first entered, I mean, just the joy and love and care that I got when I got there was it was heartwarming. I mean, when you go to other facilities, you don't see that every single day. I mean, it's a place where you can be loved, cared for, and just be yourself and just be a young adult and just be a kid.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. And my fun question for you, well, I guess I would say, what is your most memorable moment about being overseas or being the international spokesperson?
My most fun moment.
Something that stuck out while you were overseas.
Just be able to go away and have fun and, you know, be a young adult and just, you know, have fun and just, you know, be myself.
Absolutely. I can always get behind that.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi.
So, starting with a serious question, what do you see as the biggest barrier to allowing you to live life and access the community?
Well, I see right now are young adults that are aging out and they have to go to nursing homes. And that should not be a right. That should not be fair to children, to young adults who cannot speak up for themselves, who have ventilators and who have trachs. And they need to live their full lives to their potential and to be able to be a young adult. And it is not fair and it's not right.
Totally agree with you. It's a good response. The fun question. You met 3 popes.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite?
Oh my
That
God.
was your favorite?
That's a tough one. I would want to say Pope Francis because actually I got an apostolic blessing from him.
Okay. Very cool. Love it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Brianna, hi. Brianna's, yeah.
Brianna's ready. Lay it on me.
Okay, you referred to having many high points. What was like the high point?
I think if any high point, and I continue to say this over and over, I think it was filing the lawsuit against my local bus company and actually winning, because now I see the change. I see the policies that they've put into effect since me just speaking up randomly. But I would have to say, like, that's definitely my high point, and that is what encourages me to still continue to be an advocate.
That's success. Like it's there's nothing better, right?
Yeah.
I initially was having trouble with the fun point, but you're a mom, so talk about the fun of being a mom.
Oh, it's so fun. Did you not see her just try to run here?
Yeah.
I think it's definitely. I think that the challenges are the fun part for me. And it's crazy to say that, but I think every obstacle that we face and that we go into, she looks at me and I look at her and I'm like, well, let's just do it. Yeah. And I think that is just, that to me, it's an amazing feeling just to know, like, we can experience in a challenge and, like, we succeed at it. Or, like, we go to the park and, like, I'm able to put her in the swing or, like, go through the grass. So that is definitely the fun part of being a mom.
Yeah, I agree. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Brianna. You talked about community in your speech, right? But how would you create that community to come on board with your platform?
I think a lot now, and I've kind of already started a lot with social media, and social media is something that we are all pretty much using daily, and I think that is where the strength is going to come with the community, because online there are so many different groups, platforms, different podcasts, everybody that I think we've explained, somebody has a podcast, a book, and follow them on Instagram, follow them on TikTok, and I think that alone we can use that as that can be used as a strength to really get that community.
Okay, now for your fun question. I think I'll pose this one again too. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
I think I would want to see into the future, and I know somebody else said this, but I want to see, like, all of the advocacy that we've had now, kind of see where that comes and where that is, like, 30 years from now. I think we think about the ADA and, like, no one knew 30 plus years ago what today was going to be. And I think if I had that opportunity to see it, I think it would be cool, because then I would know how I want to, like, continue to advocate.
Thank you.
Hello, Brianna. Great success on that lawsuit thing. Very awesome. So what's your plan for taking your success and your experience with transportation issues at the state level and bringing it up to the national level so that it can be related to and applicable to other states, to other issues in other states?
So, I mean, I think a lot of it, and especially on the state level, is talked about funding. And these companies, these private companies, get a lot of funding. But I think there's no really true focus of like where this funding is actually going. And in the lawsuit that I had, a lot of it I said was, you guys get the funding to make sure these buses are fixed and that the ramps are actually fixed. Why are these ramps not fixed? Why are the buses not fixed? And I think that like, if I were to take it up to like Congress and like even the government in general, is just really knowing where this money is going and like how it's actually appropriately being used, because it's our tax dollars. It's money that we should really know every step of the way.
Great. Thank you. And then the fun question is, what is your favorite movie and why?
Oh, honestly, it sounds so silly, but I love 21 Jump Street. I don't know why, but I mean, I just think, 21 Jump Street, it's so, like, anytime I need some, like, just de-stress and, like, I just want to watch something funny, 21 Jump Street, and I think definitely if anybody's seen it, like, when he finds out that his daughter is messing with his coworker, I just, like, that's just my favorite part. I don't know why I laugh so much at that, but that is my favorite part.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
you. Okay, Lauren. Last but not least, for sure. So you really hit a chord with me when you were talking about mental health for folks with disabilities, because it's something that I have to help people with on a fairly regular basis, and it's hard to do.
Yeah.
So what should insurance look like? Of course, equality, of course, but specifically for folks with disabilities and mental health. And not even maybe just insurance, just the ability to have mental health services as a person with a disability.
So you're asking, like, what should insurance approve of, kind of?
Actually, now that you asked me that, I initially was headed in the insurance direction because that's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
But really, it's actually very hard to get mental health services if you have a disability, because you kind of have to choose, the disability versus the need for mental health services. So what exactly would you change to improve the model for, I'm changing my question as we're talking. What would you do to change the model so that people with disabilities don't have to make that choice? Like, how do you see it to get the service you feel you need? And other people, obviously.
Okay, so I see mental health very much as a whole person, holistic, from a standpoint. And when you're going to school for mental health, and we've got a lot of social workers here, you're trained in very basic models. And insurance, especially Medicaid and the insurances people with disabilities are on, really only cover the basic, like, CBT talk therapy, which really is like the tip of the iceberg. It does not much, if anything. And so I would change it in making it so that more therapy is, more diagnoses are, accepted, so that you can dig deeper, because it's really a huge disservice to individuals with disabilities, chronic health issues, that they're not able to really do that deep work. I was talking to somebody earlier before we started, and I do a discussion, I've done a talk before, talking about how when people with disabilities are born, because of our birth We come out dysregulated, and so our whole lives are traumatic. And so to say that you can only have these minimal therapies is not okay by any means.
So you're talking about like adding like alternative therapies and
Yeah. So adding more, so that more is approved. So like, I think also what you were asking me was like mental health or disability, and the other thing is like the individuals I work with, there is no mental health for people with disabilities. It's either like mental health or OPWDD, and there's no middle ground. And so there needs to be more, which is what I'm hoping to do someday, is have my own practice and kind of do that.
Yeah, no,
So.
I think it's very important. Thank you. I don't know if people realize it's difficult when trying to put together services.
It is.
For folks with particularly developmental disabilities and mental health issues. It just doesn't exist. You
It
have
doesn't,
to, you
and
have
the
to
diagnosis.
choose one or the other.
Yeah, the diagnoses are different. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, thank you. And what just do you do for fun?
I spend time with my son.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay. Maureen, you talked about intersectionality, right? So, and I really believe that is something that is super, super important. How would you bring awareness about intersectionality and how that impacts families and people who are ably different as a whole?
So, I think the bio or whatever talked about my bachelor's degree is in women and gender studies, and that really looks at people from a societal standpoint. And so I'm really big on looking at disability from a societal standpoint, and that the world is set up in a way for the able-bodied individual. So, I think I would bring that certainly to the table. Certainly talking about race, and we live in a white society. I think also very much so with the political climate as it is now, even things are set up for white male. So I think being able to look at those different identities and bring them together to be able to outreach to different communities and different identities is very important.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I'm going to go with, what is your favorite movie and why?
I'm not a movie watcher.
TV show.
I was really hoping for the song.
Song. Okay, song.
I had that all ready to go.
Favorite song and why?
Okay, so my favorite song is Wonder by Natalie Merchant. And I don't know if you guys have heard it, but it's about a girl with a disability making her way and proving the world wrong. So.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, Lauren. So you talk about Medicaid eligibility and the processes and things like that just needing to be changed. What is the first thing about either the process or the eligibility criteria that you think is the most important thing to change?
I would say I don't know, that's tough. The most important thing that needs to change. I would say eligibility and how to go about eligibility and the process of like getting approved and all that. Because even still, like I said, it's been 7 months since I lost my insurance, and it's been 7 months because it's taking me 7 months to get all the paperwork back to them. Like I had to run, so whatever happened, it was between my local DHS and Albany. So I've had to run around like a crazy person and sell my soul to DHS and then submit all this paperwork to Albany, and now I'm approved through DHS, but Albany still hasn't finished the paperwork. So it's like, I would just streamline it, make it more easier.
Great, thank you. And then for the fun question, what is the most interesting place you've either visited or in the world, or that you would like to visit, and why?
I don't know about where I'd like to visit, but I've been to San Diego and it's beautiful. And if I didn't live in New York, I would live there.
Yep. Me too. I was there just last year. It was nice. First time. Thank you.
Okay, we're finished. So.
Okay, so. Okay, so I'm gonna announce the raffles and then we'll go to.
Here you go.
All right, who wants to win some stuff? All right. What? I can't hear you. What? No, none of those buses are not yours, no. One is actually mine, but we'll deal with that in a minute. Okay, yeah. Okay. All right, so what's the first one we're doing here? We're going to do the butterfly necklace. Do we have a kid that wants to help us? All right. All right.
Cutie.
That's for the butterfly necklace.
This little suit. Oh, look at the little suit. He's 5? Yeah. Oh my gosh. He's so cute. Oh, that's my 10-year-old too. I say that all the time. I'm like,
Okay,
"Do you like
I'm going to
fishing or
switch.
They're old souls.
Okay, our number for the necklace is, it'd be helpful if I didn't put it upside down. It's 950001. All right, awesome. Okay, next. Yes. Yeah, we got. Okay. Come on. All right, our next is our beauty basket. All right. I'm trying. Huh? Okay, so for our beauty basket, we have 950033. Yeah. All right, next one. Okay. All right, next we have our purses. Yep, we have 2, so we'll pull one one ticket for each one. Okay. All right. So it's 950016. All right. All right. That's a one purse, a bag. And the second one goes to 950028. Right here. All right. Our next. All right. Next is our 2 tickets to Proctor's. All right. Can you take take these. All right. Our tickets to Proctor's 950022. All right. All right. Thank you everybody for your contributions, your donations. You can always throughout the year contribute to Miss Wheelchair New York through PayPal, through Venmo, Cash App. We have all of those things. So we appreciate your support. Yeah, you can just put that. What?
I knew you looked familiar. I was like, I emceed for like 5 years in a row.
I said that too. I'm like, why do I know
With
her
Kirsten.
name?
Yeah, isn't that so funny?
Yeah,
I recognize you right away.
I worked with Kirsten. I'm like, why does she look so familiar? How do I know her?
It's a small world. I live up here now. I used to live in White Plains, but I moved up here 12 years ago.
Which is why we stopped calling you.
Right, exactly. That was so funny. Is Kirsten still there?
No, she moved.
I thought
where did she
so.
move? Where her parents.
I thought
somewhere
that's
near
what
Florida,
happened.
and she
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, I loved doing that.
Yeah.
That was like my favorite.
Then slowly, like it fizzled.
Oh, it did? So you don't do it? Well, the pandemic probably really.
Yeah, so we're doing like a luncheon instead now.
Okay, folks, I think we're just about ready to announce our ambassadors and our winner. Right? Exciting. So we're just waiting for our crowns to come up. Okay. Ready? Are we ready for the first? Yes? Okay. You give me the green light. Our first ambassador is Sam. Congratulations. Congratulations, Sam. You did a great job. So she's coming up with the sash and the crown. Good job, Sam. Samantha Marie. This is so hard. I'm terrible secret keeper. Like the cat who swallowed the canary. I'm like, I know who the winner is. Okay. But like I said, you are all winners in our book, so you're all amazing. Our next ambassador is Brianna. Our third ambassador is Lauren. Did a great job, Lauren. Congratulations. Lauren, over here. Okay. And our next ambassador is Jessica. Congratulations. Something over here. Oh, it's the speaker. That's what, okay. Just figured out what's causing this. Trying to get away from it. Oh, geez. Okay, good. Sorry. And our next ambassador is Jennifer. Congratulations. Sorry. If I had it clicked on me, it didn't do that, but I'm trying to, okay, hold it here. And we're getting close. I know, maybe, podium, okay. That's a good idea. There we go. Okay, we're getting close. Our final ambassador is Stephanie. Congratulations, Stephanie. Great job. Do we have any guesses as to who our winner is? And our winner, congratulations, huge congratulations to Jessie. Well deserved. Great work, Jessie. Great work.